Department of War, we have the most elite warriors on the face of the earth. Every single day, you are pushed to your absolute physical and mental limits to master the profession of arms. Our most decisive tactical advantage will always be the individual warfighter. We have a sacred duty to maintain that advantage, which is why we must constantly look for new ways to optimize your performance, your resilience, and your long-term health. And to meet that commitment today, I'm authorizing a new screening program for testosterone deficiency.
Oh my God, is Pete Hegseth arguing for gender-affirming therapy? He's gonna make people take testosterone? Isn't that what people transitioning do? How is this for a loop-de-loop? All right, Elliot, tell us all about it.
Yeah, okay, so in a video uploaded to X yesterday, Pete Hegseth announced the new and improved High T Department of War, everybody. Thank goodness, I know it was the top of everybody's concern. How will he achieve that? Well, let's hear Hegseth's plan.
It's well-established science that as we age, testosterone levels often naturally drop. Under the supervision of our world-class medical professionals, warfighters age 30 and older are going to be tested annually as part of their periodic health assessment. It's a health assessment that happens every year. We're just adding this test. Those under 30 can voluntarily choose to get the test as well. If treatment is recommended, it's entirely your choice to receive testosterone replacement therapy. This initiative, it's not about artificial enhancement. It's about restoring and optimizing your natural capabilities, protecting your longevity, and ensuring you have the biological foundation required to sustain the fight.
It's your choice to take it, but if you say no, they're going to shove you in a locker. Now, of course, Pete Hegseth did not address the over 200,000 women who are currently serving as active duty, but according to a DoD official, everyone over 30 years old will be tested annually. But going back to what Pete Hegseth said there, he's offering testosterone replacement therapy, it seems, like gender-affirming care, style hormone replacement therapy. Yes, and Democrats like Pramila Jayapal are calling Hegseth out on this one.
The Secretary of Forever Wars, Pete Hegseth, said that they are going to provide hormone therapy for male service members who don't have enough testosterone. This, by the way, is gender-affirming care. And by the way, male members of this committee, watch what you vote for. Do you really want the government getting into your business, taking your testosterone levels and determining whether or not you have enough testosterone? Are you male enough to be in Congress?
So a lot of people in the Trump administration do support access to testosterone replacement therapy, just not for transgender people. Okay, no double standard there. Also, that includes Secretary RFK Jr., who has promoted it for anti-aging, and he doesn't look a day over leather, so that's pretty cool. But it's also unclear if women who have low testosterone will be able to get TRT as well.
Real quick, let's talk about something that holds way too many businesses back. You've got a great idea, you've got momentum, but you're stuck because you don't have the right person to execute on it. And hiring, full-time recruiting takes weeks you don't have. Here's a tip, you don't have to do it all yourself. Upwork is a one-stop platform to find, hire, and pay expert freelancers across web and software development, data and analytics, marketing, business operations, and more. Upwork helps grow your business by giving you fast access to specialized talent across more than 125 categories, so you can fill skill gaps, launch projects faster, and scale support up or down without committing to full-time headcount. You can browse profiles, review past work, and get help scoping the role so you can hire with confidence and get started quickly. With Business Plus, you can access the top 1% of talent on Upwork, and with AI-powered shortlisting, you'll get matched to the right freelancer in under 6 hours. No endless searching required. Upwork also cuts down operational hassle by handling things like contracts and payments in one place, so you can spend more time running the business. Thousands of growing businesses already trust Upwork to hire flexible, high-quality freelance talent for everything from one-off projects to ongoing support. It's free to sign up and posting a job is easy. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's Upwork.com to connect with top talent ready to help your business grow. That's UPWORK.com. Upwork.com.
Overall, Pete Hegseth's testosterone test and treatments are a bad idea. At least within the general population, universal testosterone screening for men is not considered standard practice. The Endocrine Society recommends against testing for hydrogonadism, the medical term for when the body doesn't produce enough testosterone or sperm unless a man has symptoms such as erectile dysfunction. The American Urological Association guidelines say that a low testosterone diagnosis shouldn't be made based solely on a test. That's because testosterone levels can vary widely, and a man with a lower than average number might still be perfectly healthy. Also, testosterone levels do go down with age. However, levels usually start to decline around age 40, but they don't fall off a cliff. They tend to dip about 1 to 2% a year. Other factors, such as maintaining a healthy weight and getting enough sleep, can also play a significant role. It's also unclear what exactly the baseline will be for these new tests. And also, even when doctors see a testosterone level drop below normal, TRT is not always the first thing recommended. Again, you can do more exercise, you can get more sleep, you could even maybe drink a little less. Those are all things that Pete Hegseth might want to try before immediately trying to boost your actual testosterone. So anyway, here's a clip of Pete Hegseth and all of his testosterone.
Come on! 35! Let's go, push! Come on, hit it. Somebody get in here! 30 seconds left! 44!
But you got to
Incredible stuff. The only question I have here also is who exactly is making these tests, and is this some sort of contract, and are they going to make a lot of money? And is there maybe a tiny bit of corruption going on here? And I don't know that's necessarily the case, but given this administration's behavior, I wouldn't be that surprised. That said, all of this seems very silly, and I think our world is run by dorks. But Cenk, what do you think?
Okay, so there's a lot to go over here. First of all, projection is a hell of a drug, right? Brother, if you got low T, that's your problem, not our problem, okay? Number two, whenever somebody starts with, it's about that thing. And in that case, he said, it's not about artificial enhancement. So it's about artificial enhancement, okay? And so that gets into this Gattaca issue, right? Well, we're gonna create superior humans. And so how are we gonna do that? We're fighting men, okay? We're gonna pump them up full of testosterone until they're like, let's kill somebody, right? First of all, it's like a comical way of looking at the world. It's not that simple, right? But it's almost like, this is such a bizarre analogy that I'm gonna do, so buckle up. My son and I are rewatching Breaking Bad. And so obviously he's watching it for the first time. And you remember Tuco in the first season, and so he's this wild drug dealer who's crazy. But whenever he takes meth, he gets even more pumped up and then beats the crap out of people. Eventually, Hegseth's gonna try that. Well, the testosterone didn't work. Let's give him some meth. We gotta have him kill more people. Okay, Pete, just calm down, all right? So, by the way, also, huge insult to the troops. So I remember during the Iraq War, we're the oldest show in internet history, so we were around. And Ben Mankiewicz and I were against the Iraq War. We were one of only 2 national shows to say we shouldn't go in. And everybody would scream at us back then, support the troops! Now these same guys come in and go, these troops are so weak and so unmanly. We gotta pump them full of testosterone, otherwise they're no good. It's an enormous insult to the troops.
Yeah. Also, my understanding is only about 10 to 15% of folks in the military are in combat roles at all. So why do we need 85% of the people in the military who aren't in combat roles to be jacked up constantly on testosterone? And also, to your point earlier, I think also the Nazis did that. They were high on amphetamines the entire time.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Who knows? There's plenty of ideas to go around if this doesn't work out for Hegseth.
Yeah, and they also believed in not doing defense, but doing war. And here's the Secretary of War telling us we gotta hop people up on drugs so we can have more war. That is a haunting analogy. I had forgotten that. That's a great point. And lastly, look, I'm atheist, so this is not my bag, but isn't it a little bit disrespectful to God to say, no, you didn't create them right? And so we're gonna have to give them artificial hormones and testosterone to make them better than you could. I don't believe that. I think I don't really care what you do with your body. That's your business, not my business, right? But for these guys pretending to be religious and saying God didn't build you well enough and we're gonna enhance you, ooh, also disrespectful to their religion, to God, and everything else that they claim to stand for. So a bit of a disastrous policy, but you do have to hand it to them. A little amusing that they'd go in the gender-affirming care direction. I didn't have that on my bingo card.
What is it? Every accusation is a confession? Just keeps popping up every day. It's beautiful.
Indeed.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.